School partnerships, great topic. Why does it matter? Because we don't feel like schools offer the most value right now. And that's why we're seeing decreased numbers of enrollments. That's why you're seeing schools closing their doors. Some schools are being bought by other schools. We're going to get into all of that, but ultimately, it's the value add proposition is what's going to drive school partnerships.
Welcome to the eLearning Partners channel, everybody. We got a free masterclass for you because if you're creating an online course, an e-learning program, we want to make sure that you are successful every time in doing that. There is a link below in the description.
Don't click it now. Wait until we're done.
Yeah, wait, we got a great video for you, so stick around, but that link is below. Check it out. So school partnerships, Daniel, we got 4 points for you guys, and we're excited. We're about to hit some, boom, a lot of value-added content,
for sure.
For you. So the first big thing is all about how schools, right, that are specifically online, and how schools that have a actual physical space, like the University of Denver, or just think of a university that have a campus. How can they actually collaborate and work together, right? And how can they also maybe even have a revenue share? Because right now, one of the biggest challenges with schools, because it's overhead costs. Remember, school is a business, right?
It is a business.
There's this overhead cost of this land that they have to upkeep, right? And school enrollment is starting to go down as more people are going where? To the online learning, e-learning space. However, people that may go to a trade school, let's say online, they don't have that college experience. They don't have that campus to go to.
Right.
So how can they collaborate and partner together? Right, so now students of the trade school for a monthly subscription have access to the University of Denver's campuses, clubs, associations. The University of Denver is making a revenue. You know what I mean?
I do, and I think it's going to do so much for, one thing that we noticed, e-learning is an amazing avenue to create value for people, create access to places they may not have had access to before. But ultimately, there is a human connection point that is lost. When we're so hyper on our devices. And I think the idea of schools that are struggling with some of those fixed costs as some of their variables begin to change, looking to the e-learning population and wanting to offer community. Ultimately, it's about offering community, offering places where humans can interact, share ideas, where the learning they are having in the online space can be actualized in the real world. And that's extremely important. I think that's the biggest value add from this idea of a vocational program, for instance, that's really driving most of its learning online, being able to partner with a UD or a UNC Chapel Hill or one of these institutions to then have that more robust campus experience. It's going to add a lot of value to that person.
And one last thing I want to say is the community aspect that you said. I just want to hammer on that. I mean, really, what is one of the most important things to human beings? It's a social aspect, right? Doesn't matter how online we get, right? It's a social aspect.
Can't do life alone.
Exactly. Loneliness is one of the biggest issues,
It's drivers of depression.
100%, right? People don't want to be lonely. So this is really bridging a lot of gaps.
Right.
Also giving schools an opportunity, a really unique opportunity of partnership, and also schools are businesses, so revenue share.
More importantly than that, I think maintaining a certain level of value in the marketplace. So.
I love that. I love that. Which, talking about value, let's go on to the next thing, which is we have international study abroad programs.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
What I feel like may be lacking is domestic programs. How can schools partner with other schools domestically to really offer a unique experience? Let's dive into it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very, kind of tough conversation for administrators to really wrestle with, but ultimately, let's work in reverse. Are we placing people in the departments that we are educating people in? Can we look out over the landscape in a particular industry and say that we are supplying a lot of the intellectual thrust in this space? Let's say that you're not, the answer is no. After you wrestle with it, however you want to slice it, you're not placing people in these industries at a high level. And the first time this example came up with me was HBCUs, right? Prairie View places some crazy number, 20% of all black engineers in America come out of Prairie View. If there's another HBCU that has an engineering department that is placing, they may be graduating 3 to 5, 10% of their graduating class may be in engineering in that department, they probably should cease to exist in that way. Still offer the industry, the programming, but partner in similar fashion to a study abroad program with a Prairie View that's doing it at a very high level. You still don't have to have the potential of losing students that may love your campus, may love the city, may love the environment, the community that's being created, but you don't have their major. Now you have a way to have that seamless multi-school learning experiences.
And I'll also add one more thing to that as well. It's also, travel gives you an education that, books just can't give you,
Correct.
right? And, talking specifically about the United States, this country is so huge, it's so beautiful, there's so much to see. So one of the big reasons why a lot of people go abroad is also just the experience of traveling, a whole new culture. But
right.
Here in the United States, you go to Massachusetts, to Mobile, Alabama, to San Francisco, to Dallas, Texas, completely different
You've been in 4 different worlds.
Yeah, literally 4 different worlds as well. And also, I'll say one last thing. I have learning differences and dyslexia, and one of the big reasons why I went to the University of Denver is because they have one of the best collegiate programs for students that have learning differences as well. So that also gives the opportunity, taken it to another level, is, if a school offers a type of learning style or programs to help you with your learning, maybe not specifically with your major, right? But in my instance, learning differences, right? Let's say I really wanted to, go to Michigan State, right? I was so set on that, right? It still gives me that ability to come get that training for a semester or 2, right? And then go back to Michigan State.
You got a chance to scratch that itch and get it out your system and move forward.
Which goes into the next point, which is best of both worlds. If you, for example, if you have a school that doesn't have a strong e-learning program, right? And if you're a school that does have a strong e-learning program, how you can work together, right?
And I think a great example, University of Phoenix. I think everybody's seen University of Phoenix commercials. Massive online platform and apparatus, right? They could probably have a lot more market share or people using their information if they were willing to. Not saying they aren't. They might be in the verge of doing this, so let's not cast any aspersions. But let's say that a smaller school that has always been traditional education, never explored the e-learning space, sees the world as going into a very digital realm. How do we stay relevant? How do we offer value add to the people that we're engaged with? You got to meet them where they're at. Technology. What if Phoenix was able to white label 20% of the courses, and even if they were being selfish, 20% of the courses that aren't even really tapped by the people that come and enroll with them directly. Let's say we let the smaller school white label that stuff, see what they can do with it, and let's split the revenue on the back end. Creating community, partnerships, better experiences for students. Good opportunity.
And that, you said it beautifully. And that goes to the 4th point as well, right? Is also just acquisitions, right?
Yeah.
Schools acquiring, maybe even merging, right? But acquiring other schools, right?
So I'll talk about a merger real quick. The AUC in Atlanta, Atlanta University Consortium, it used to be a handful of schools. I'll name a few of them. Everybody knows about Morehouse, Spelman, you got Clark Atlanta. Clark used to be Clark University, Atlanta used to be Atlanta University. They merged. I won't get into the details, but obviously it was a monetary, fiscal reason. We're saying the same thing now. Say there's schools that are in, same geographical area. Doesn't even necessarily need to be that. And again, in the digital space, it could be in the digital realm where something in New York and something in San Francisco merged to make the San Francisco NY School of whatever, insert discipline here. That could happen. And instead of some of these institutions closing down and basically becoming non-existent, seeing how you can, offer your books to somebody else that's in a stronger situation, where what you're offering, people that are dependent on what you're offering can still get it. They're just going to get it by a different name, different uniform.
Yeah, why after so many years, right, so much time and investment in this amazing infrastructure, just let it go to waste, right? Shouldn't go to waste, absolutely. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the likes and the subscribes. We're here with Daniel. We got that free masterclass link below in the description. Go check it out. We'll see you there.